It's in the options menu, you said, right? Or is it an extra? Here we go. Oh, so this is just the, this is the, I guess... Can I zoom? No. So I guess this is the storyboard for how it started. They took out the splish, splash, whoosh, etc. part before they did the pan. Yeah, and they took out that middle section, and I guess because it's funnier just like to hear a thunk and then just immediately explode. Yeah, you know, it's not bad. Originally known as food cactus, it dropped food when smacked, but then you had to fight the angry cactus to pick them up. You know, that seems like an interesting idea, but it would get annoying over time, especially with the cactuses that are underground. And then there's the buff cactus. Why isn't this enemy in the game? Someone really dropped the ball here. Oh, with the freaking... Oh, the hermit crabs. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't. Variable image used for homepage. Oh, that's neat. I like it's just pretty neat. I like the art style. There's the Master Ruby. Oh yeah, I forgot one of the Jennies can use like zappity zaps. I guess that's dancing you could do in the game that they wanted to put in. Oh, so Anton's first it'll do image. So it was gonna make it a 3D game, and then he's gonna make it a pixel game, and it ended up being a 2D game, like NES style. Interesting. And one of the first hand-drawn characters sketches. The enemies look more like their original prototype counterparts. Yeah. It definitely is a prototype because the like ripoffs are way more gross looking. The Jennies look more like dinosaurs than they do actual girls. The Titan looks way different. Like he looks more like a he looks more like a blockhead than he does a nose pass that he usually does. The cactuses weren't in actual plants, and the turnips were way thinner and had spike balls that were wider, so they kind of flip-flopped them in the final design, which is interesting. This is what happens when Anton has nothing to do. That seems like a poster that seems like a poster to a comic I would definitely read. As a kid, I would definitely have read this. It seems like something that's really cool. Alright, some characters like the Jenny Bun and the Ultra Fist Bungeon 3000 are born from a single sketch and work their way into the game. Yeah, the Jenny Bun was just asleep the whole game. Coming up with things on the spot constitutes most of the Eagle's development, to the detriment of the quality of the programming. A broken fish bun. Like the tombstones in the roof of Eaton's house, Jenny Bun is technically a tree, only the sprite and hitbox are different. Technically. And Nils getting fed up with the cute games. Yeah, we gotta make our ittle do GTA crossover. One candle for each year in development. So how many? 17 years? 18 years? That can't be. 18 years in development? That's a long time. Like, that's a really long time. That's a really cool picture, even though it looks more like a basic sketch. That's fan art. That's 100% fan art, but that looks really good. And then that seems like a concept of... You know, I really wish, like, the interactions with the Jennies and ittle, like, affected more into the game. Like, those seems like things that would be really funny and really cool to see. Swedish Lucia nonsense. So I guess this is from where the developers are from, and they just kind of did a little cool thing. Oh, that's cute. Jenny Frog is cute, and keeping it Jenny looks really nice. It's a really nicely drawn picture. And then there's the Jenny Fox, which is always angry and on fire, and blonde. And then there's the Eagle's prototype, Pink Man. And Pink Man can dance. So yeah, ittle went through a lot of... Yeah, wow. Look at that. It was the first, yeah. It was gonna be sprite game before it became 2D hand-drawn. And that's a ittle drawing. It looks really good. And the first hand-drawn concept. That seems like it would be for a different kind of game, but I'm really glad that they had the finished product look like that. Although the first few ittles actually look interesting, and one of them I think is used in the sequel in a way. Although I think she has a ponytail, but I think it's the second one over. No. Yeah, the second one over. Seems a little bit like what ittle is now, but I feel like it's what she would be, you know, in the new game. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, the Jenny Witch. Jenny Witch was an interesting one, and then the Lickus Turnip. I wonder what the Lickus backstory really is. Like, I know I've read it in the underground cave. Man, like, that was an interesting cave. I don't remember the events that happened, and I could just watch the video back and really, like, recollect, but, like, man, it was dark. Oh, I carved this entire island with my own 2 hands. But you have no hands. I lost them in the Turnip War of 54. Stop talking! As revenge, I killed 1,000 turnips with my own 2 hands. Lies. You don't have any hands either, ittle. God damn it. And this is Nils' island map. Yeah, that seems about right. That seems about right how the map looks like in game. And then these are, I guess, a couple of enemies that didn't make it into the game. And then there's a Jenny. There's a Jenny frog riding a fish bun, because obviously the fish platypus duck. And that's just a cute ittle do picture. Oh god. Wow, that's the Jenny Fox? Holy wow, that's really well done. I wonder how many of these are there. Ittle would wear an I'm with stupid shirt. And Tipsy is tipsy because drunk joke. These are a couple of quick sketches. It almost looks like Kablam style. Like, you remember that show? It almost looks like that kind of style. The one and only appearance by Mr. Kiwi. That's pretty funny. And then they're in a band with a slow clap done by Tipsy, obviously. And Ittle's a bad singer. Good to know. Jenny Frog doesn't care, and Jenny Fox is just like, I'm gonna rock out on my axe. Literally. Watch me totally smack this Jenny. It's hilarious. Resurrecting. Yeah, that's how the turnip was before it was killed. Yeah, that's the temple boss. And then, yeah, you get the ever-burning fire sword in the chest. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's about how the beach looks like in real game, though. Man, what would it be like if this game was pixel style? Like, if it was an actual, like, retro-looking game, it would just fall within the rest of the retro-looking ones, I would think. I mean, it still looks really good, but not nearly as developed. Which, you know, obviously, I'm glad at how the finished product turned out. And I guess you'd be, like, way further away from the screen than you are now. At one point, this was in playable form. And then that's how it... Oh, wow. I wonder how it would have looked like in this form. Like, I know how the finished product looks like, but, like, I feel like this would be a little bit cartoony. And... I mean, I'm glad that the finished product ended up becoming a little bit cartoony, but, like, this would have been much more. But, like, I feel like I can imagine what, like, the animations would have looked like. Although I don't know if ittle really matches with the... I mean, the hand-drawn style works really well, but these seem like pictures for starters. But this would have taken on an interesting style. Like, I would have definitely seen this, but I don't know if the characters look incomplete, but I guess that's the nature of concept art. Scrapped idea for a retro minigame where you can play as Tiger Jenny on the on the Genesis. God damn it. Ultra Fish Bun. Originally made for Space Hunk, Ultra Fish Bun Jin's 3000's first appearance. What the crap is Space Hunk? I don't even know. Special contribution to the gallery. Oh, that's neat. There's all the bosses. Master Baron Von Ruby, the Jenny Witch, and the Lickin' Turnip. And then Daniel's special contribution to the gallery. He made a bunch of... Oh, that's neat. That's also really creepy how the fish bun is just there. Oh my god. The turnip's dancing like he doesn't give a fuck. Fucking... That Jenny up there, I think that's the... That can't be the fox one, because she's... Looks like she's just melded with a plant. And then... Wow. Yeah, this is an interesting shot with the Psyduck face on the bottom right corner. Just derp. And then Nils. I guess he created a lot of the art style in the final game. Oh, that's neat. I like this game. Two of Helen's enemies that didn't make it into the final game. I wonder how they would have worked, though. One looks like a pine cone and one just looks like another fish bun, but like underground. And oh, one of these. Oh god, one of these. It just looks like gibberish to me. Even though if I really picked apart this, I could probably figure out like what all this means. But this is really cool. Like making a map and constructing how everything works and how everything connects with each other. It's really interesting. The original Ittle 2, now known as the prototype, was made in GameMaker for a school project. Daniel wrote about GameMaker while Joe wrote about the concept of level design. The graphics were the bottom priority on the project. Yeah, Ittle looks like she has Scrooge's nose. The explosive flaming chainsaw shotgun was also a secret item attainable by getting two tool upgrades out of order. It's not in the game you're playing now due to time constraints, but would have made a good reward for the Master Cave rather than these worthless gallery images. I was about to say, like, that sounds like something I would really like to see. Oh, is this the story? Maybe I'll put this separately. 1,000 years ago, when two factions gathered their armies, the turnips and the onions. It was a terrible Jenny Turnip war. The Lickus Turnip could not be stopped, rising from the dead when defeated, but Dear Jenny was tough as well. Ceasefire was called. 1,000 years later, a strange raft with a very rich man landed on the beach. Wait a second! These were stories from the credits. So this is how the game started. He discovered the descendants of the now historical war. The perfect location, they were varying amounts of thrill to participate. The perfect location for an adventure castle disrespecting their history. Yeah, but the mighty Dear Jenny and Lickus Turnip live still as the raft approaches. Dang. This would have been cool to see. Maybe to have, like, animated in the beginning, but whatever. Time constraints, I guess.